All right, so there's one more little story I kind of want to add to the pile. This is more me bragging than anything. I just had to put this somewhere. I play a lot of disc golf, and I have for maybe 10 years. I've had periods of time where I'll play every single day for like a year, and then I would take a break for 6 months or whatever. And I'd say on average now, over the last couple of years, I play 2, 3 times a week, ideally. And over the last few weeks, I've been playing a lot, and I feel like I've been seeing improvement. I kind of stagnated distance wise. Distance is a huge part of how good you can get in disc golf. I felt like I stagnated for a while, but I had some grip changes, some mindset changes, and I feel like I've been getting better recently. My putting's been getting more consistent, and so I've just been improving. And so I've played in a handful of tournaments over the years here and there. Just in the amateur division or the recreational, just one of the low level divisions. So but it was always a cool idea. Maybe one day if I keep getting better, maybe one day I could play in the pro division. Maybe I could compete with those guys. Well, I've been playing in this weekly tournament. It's a little mini tournament every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at the same course, and it's a very hard course. A lot of OB. It usually gets pretty windy there. It's a very demanding course. Scoreable. There's plenty of holes you can birdie, but it's very easy to make some double bogeys to lose shots out there. And so I've played 3 of the last 4 weeks. I've gone Sunday morning and played this little mini tournament. Usually like between 10 and 15, 20 people show up, somewhere in that range. Just to get myself a little bit more comfortable with competition rounds. I tend to get pretty nervous whenever we do these competition rounds. I've done tournaments in the past, and so I'm just trying to get over that, trying to just get better. Playing with better players is going to get you better. And a lot of the people I play with regularly aren't like amazing or anything. And so the first week I shot 5 over, which I didn't think was terrible, but I played in the amateur division. By the way, there's 2 divisions in this little mini tournament. There's a pro division and an amateur division. There's no more further breakdown like you might see in some other higher population tournaments. And so the first week I played the amateur division. I ended up being the only one in the amateur division. There was like 12 in the pro division. I was the only one in the amateur division. And I shot like 5 over, which was like fine. It wasn't great. I was like, it could be better. I missed some doinker short putts. I wasn't proud of it, but I wasn't upset at myself for shooting 5 over there. The next week or 2 weeks later, whenever it was, did the same thing. And there was only one other amateur. This time there's one other amateur, so I had a competitor, and I shot 3 over. So it was a slight improvement. I played a little bit better. Still missed a few doinkers here and there. Still some bad shots and some bad holes, but it was a little better, a few shots better. My goal was to just do better than last time, so that's what I did. And I was telling myself, like, okay, well, clearly very many people aren't playing an amateur division in this tournament, but I do like doing this little mini tournament. So if I could get to the point that I'm shooting under par here in this course, in this little mini tournament, then it might be worth it for me to hop in the pro division, because then I might have a chance of cashing, of making top 3 or so and actually making my money back, or maybe even making a little bit of money on the buy-in. It's like a $15 buy-in instead of just donating, right? If I'm shooting over par every time and I play in the pro division, I'm just going to be donating my money to them, which is not a huge deal, but I'd like to feel like I'm competing. I have a chance to get to win, to cash or whatever, which is I would consider winning in this sort of tournament. Well, I played it a couple days ago on Sunday, or I guess was yesterday, and I shot 5 under, which was by far the best tournament round I've ever done. I've had a few other tournament rounds here or there where I've shot under par, but not on a course this hard. This is a hard course. I've shot bogey free, 0 bogeys, and especially on a course that's, I feel like, even more impressive than the 5 under, right? 5 birdies here or there, that's whatever. But not making a single bogey on this course is, I feel like, for me, very impressive, because there's just so much OB. There's so many spots where you can just get yourself into trouble. And normally I miss a few doinkers. I miss a few, if you watch pro coverage of disc golf, those guys, and what's considered the circle is like 30 feet, 33 feet or something like that. If you're inside that radius, the pros are making those putts like 90+% of the time. They're almost certainly going to make a putt if it's inside the circle, inside 30 feet. But like, I usually miss a few doinkers, a few 20-footers, even some 15-footers, that I really should be making, even at my skill level. I'm like, okay, I'm making this most of the time. I should put this in, and I'll just throw a bad shot and just miss it. I didn't miss any doinkers today. I missed a couple like 30, 35 footers for birdie, but I didn't miss any of them for par. and I cleaned up all my shorter ones, all my 15 footers, all my 20 footers. So I played very well for me. I thought it was about as good as I could do. There's still some shot I could have done a little bit better, I guess, but I played very well. I was very pleased with 5 under. And so we're walking back to the parking lot, and one of the guys in my group's like, "Hey man, it looks like you tied GT." And I just thought GT was like, I guess some local, just like some dude that plays in the tournament named GT. I didn't really think of anything of it at the moment. And then I thought about it for another minute or so as we're walking. I'm like, wait, GT Hancock? Like that GT? Like, and I guess for those who aren't initiated, GT Hancock is like a top. He's like one of the top guys, if not the top professional. Okay, maybe not the top professional, because I guess Emerson Keith lives in Dallas. But like he's one of the top 10 pros in disc golf pros in Dallas, and probably a top 200 or so maybe in disc golf professional in maybe the world, top 300, somewhere in that ballpark, right? He's a top tier professional. I've seen him on professional coverage, first lead card coverage of various disc golf tournaments online. And so whenever they told me, yeah, you tied GT Hancock today. He shot 5 under. The winning score ended up being 8 under. So I would have only been 3 shots back. I would have tied for third in the professional division, and I would have tied GT Hancock. I was like, oh my God, like for real? Like that's crazy. Like I could not believe I tied a top tier professional like that. And I'm sure it wasn't his best day. I know he can do way better than 5 down there, I'm sure. But it's a tough course, right? And, even if it was one of his worst rounds or like not a good day for him, and it was a great day for me, the fact that like I'm with that range like is now putting us tied is like such a huge confidence boost, and it makes me feel like it's awesome. The fact that like I can even get that close, and so yeah, I just had to brag about that, tying GT Hancock in a tourney yesterday. And I think maybe now, if I'm feeling good next week, I might move up to the pro division and see how I do there. And maybe, who knows, maybe after a few of those, maybe I can put down a new personal best there, better than 5 under, and maybe even get the W there one day. That'd be pretty sick. So yeah, that was about it.